When you're ready, we've got Garry up for you, thank you.
Garry, at half-time, did you believe that you could do the same again in the second half, or maybe even score a goal?
Yeah, I believed before the game. Look, we understood how hard this game was going to be and what Man City force you into. We had planned for that. I think you could see what we were trying to do. You can go two ways. You can either go all out trying to press them, but they have the quality to beat you and leave a lot of space for them. And then they also have the quality to force you to defend and still beat you in that way. But I thought, in terms of the game plan we had, the competitiveness of what we needed to do, the organisation, concentration, the players did exactly what I asked them to do and delivered it at a very good level. And we tried to, near the end, I was a bit unfortunate where we were forced to make some early substitutions, some injuries, which kind of didn't help towards the latter stages. The plan was to get to the latter stages intact or within the game and freshen it up and maybe make a few tweaks and see if we could have a real good go. We tried to do that, you could see it, but there was a few tired legs to try and sustain that. But overall, disappointed to lose the game, especially on a goal that should have been offside. We rather would have lost it to a goal that was more legitimate. But look, that's not to take away from Man City. They're fantastic and difficult game for us. But I thought we stuck to everything that we needed to do. And yeah. Overall, disappointed with the result, but very pleased with the level of commitment and performance that we took against a very good side.
There's no VAR, obviously, in the game here because it's not on the Premier League ground. Did you wish that there was? Do you think maybe it tilts things in favour of the Premier League side when there isn't the VAR?
No, I don't think it tilts in the side of a Premier League side or anything like that. It could have been us that had a goal like that, but what's strange about it is having VAR in some games or some stadiums and not. That doesn't seem quite right, but it is what it is. I'm not complaining about that. It is what it is. I'm just saying we'd rather if we were going to concede a goal, it would have been nice to have conceded a legitimate one. But credit to them, they're a fantastic team. We know how difficult it is. We had to make some good saves and last-ditch tackles and all those things, especially in the second half. But we stuck to it. And in terms of game plan, I've said it all along, when these players follow the game plan and do it with that level of commitment and attitude, that was the reason why we were third at Christmas. We've come off that in the last 10 games or so. But we need to get back to that, and tonight hopefully it gives the players the confidence to go and do that in these remaining games. That's what we need to do.
Do you think if you had been playing like that since the new year, you would still be third?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we would have been there or thereabouts, but various reasons we haven't done, and a lot of that's been self-inflicted. But yeah, we have to get back to it. We have to finish this season strong, and it's nice like tonight, confirmation to them against sides that, with no disrespect to our league, we're playing against the highest calibre we're going to play all this season. If we can do that against those type of sides, why can we not do that in these remaining games? And that's the confidence they should take from this game.
You nearly scored late on when that ball went in.
Yeah.
Did you think this is it?
Yeah, we had a few more set plays from the first half we didn't make the most of, but we very good defence. I don't think they had a shot on our goal in that first half. And then second half, as the game goes on, they're always probing you, always forcing you to move you out of shape and out of position. It's very difficult. We had to rely on Joe, who's made some fantastic saves, in that, which you need anyway. And yeah, the plan was to be intact going into those later stages, last 15-10 minutes. Unfortunately, I didn't have the substitutions I kind of wanted or planned for to try and freshen that and give us that extra energy to really push for that last 10 minutes. But we tried. You could see the players tried to do that. That was the plan, but we didn't quite have the legs in that moment because we were forced to make substitutions that we didn't want to do. But credit to the players. Disappointed to lose that game, but I think everyone can see how much effort and desire went into that performance.
It's a bit of a cliche about leaving everything out on the pitch.
Yeah.
I think they did that tonight.
Yeah, certainly did. And with a 2-day turnaround going into Brentford, that's going to ask a lot from them. But yeah, it was important that we showed that, and I think we did that overall, and we made it competitive and we made it tight, and against such a good side, this Man City side has torn teams apart. Much, no disrespect to us, but much higher quality teams than us, and they've destroyed them. So to be intact and competitive as like that, it should give the players confidence and belief to take into these remaining games of the season.
What was the thinking behind bringing Joe in tonight?
No, look, him and Cameron it's been really good, so competitive, and I said they're the future of the club, and it's going to be interesting over seasons to come with those two. The competition's there, they got a lot of respect for each other, but it was also to reward Joe, who's, he had a big injury coming off the back and come back in later into the season, but he's been training very hard and getting himself fitter and fitter and fitter, and he deserves a reward as well. So that was the reason behind playing him, and it was a fantastic contribution from him.
Is there a chance to play at Brentford, or is
it's the competition between both? Same with all places. It's great. Those two are young keepers making their way, and they're not young, but they're young enough to be there. And as I said, I think that's a real good, strong thing for the club. To have two such quality young keepers who are only going to get better in competition with each other, push each other every day in training. I think that's that's going to be interesting to see that battle, over the coming weeks and months, and obviously, hopefully, years to come.
How much spirit can you take from this into the league form?
Well, I think it was important. One of the major things I wanted the players to take away from the game. Of course, we're disappointed to lose. We did. You can see we did want to try and work in a way that we can give ourselves a chance of winning that game. We were very close to it, but obviously not close enough. But what I want them to come off and realise is when they're at that level, that concentration, that focus. Do you know what I mean? When they follow the game plan, how we know they can, and we're not going to face that much quality week in, week out, that we would be able to be a bit more expansive in normal games offensively, much more than we were tonight. But when you follow it to that level, you can compete. You can be in positions to win games or be in and around it. So that's what we did so well in all the games leading up to Christmas, where we were third. That was the reason for it. But in these last 10 games, for various reasons, a lot of it's self-inflicted. We haven't been at those levels consistently enough. So hopefully that gives them a belief to do it against that quality side. Why can't we go and do it in these remaining games and get back to that? And hopefully that's what the players take. That's what I've told them. And hopefully we can take that into the remaining games of the season.
The reaction of the fans, Garry, at the end was, they were positive.
Yeah.
We're at half time. That's a bit of a moral victory, isn't it?
Yeah, for everyone, and for the fans themselves to see. That's what they asked for. Number one is they want them. When you wear that shirt, they want the maximum. Do you know what I mean? That blood and sweat. I think every club wants that. And then on top of that is all the things that you want. Offensively, all those things. But number one is they want you to be killing yourself out there, and we did that tonight. They worked their socks off tonight, which doesn't give us a lot of a turnaround for 2 days before the game, but that's how it should be every game. And in the last 10 games or so, we haven't done that enough, and it was important to show that tonight, and especially here at Hillsborough. Hopefully the players, as I said to them at the end, they take that on board, how they thought about that and focused on that, and the mentality they took into this game is what you need to take in when you play a team in our league, and you have to do that consistently. We did that very well up to Christmas, but hopefully now we can get back to that level. As I said before, we've seen it, when they are at those levels and they follow it with that desire and determination, they can always be in positions to win games. So that's what we need to get back to.
Should give them confidence.
Yeah, hopefully, and that's what I said to them at the end, and they should feel that and take that into these remaining games now.
You mentioned the game plan was slightly affected with the injuries that you had to make changes. Was all three of the substitutions down to injury?
Trying to remember them all now.
Obviously, you had to make one at half time, so you lost two.
Yeah, obviously Julian's one was forced and Kieran's one was forced. Obviously, when you think about games, you can never totally predict what's going to happen, but you have in your mind. We worked on obviously you could see the game plan to stay in the game and be competitive in it. And if we could get certain set pieces or breakaways, we try and do that. We tried to do that all the way through, but it was, if we could be intact and get to those last 10, 15 minutes, was to try and step on, take much more risk. Leave ourselves exposed a bit more, but step on to them. I think you saw that in those moments in the last 10 minutes when we did step on, we were starting to cause problems, but we didn't have the freshness, and unfortunately we couldn't sustain it for that longer periods. And obviously that was the plan, to try and get to those last 10 minutes or so, if we were still in the game like that, was to step on and push on, but we couldn't sustain it because we weren't fresh enough. So yeah, those substitutions didn't really allow me to make those changes, which I would have liked to, but that is what it is. But the players gave everything right to the end, and yeah, I was very, very, very pleased with that performance.
Garry, what were the injuries?
Julian just felt some tightness in his hamstring. Kieran just again had tightness. I think around his calf or his knee, I can't remember. I just have to work out now. So yeah.
you hopeful that?
I hope so. Yeah, we need it. We've got a couple of lads back in training this week, but they're not fully fit. So whether they're available for this weekend or not, we'll have to see. But yeah, we can't afford injuries. So we'll see.
How did you feel Alex Hunt did when he came on?
Very good. Like I said, he brought youthfulness and some energy, and I think he helped in that moment towards the end. You know, those last 10 minutes, he helped us step on, and that was the plan. You know, not necessarily him in his position, but that freshness to step on and push ourselves higher up the pitch, which we tried to do. But obviously, there wasn't enough fresh legs around it to sustain it. But I've said all along about Alex. You know, he's got a big future and he's got a lot to learn and a long way to go. But he's the type of lad I feel that can go a long way. We just need to help him, and every minute he gets on the pitch, being with the first team all the time, training with us all the time, and getting minutes when we can, and he's going to help that progression. So we think very highly of him, and you know, I've worked with a lot of young players, and yeah, he has a good chance of having a big contribution in his career, but he has a long way to go. But nights like tonight will only help him.
The crowd are obviously, played a big part in that.
Yeah.
A lot of people might expect it to be a sellout of a match like tonight. Is it any sort of concern at all that some fans have chosen to sort of stay away?
TV kills that. It's a number of. I thought it was fantastic. You could see right from the very first. I think it was the first, probably 20, 30 seconds. I don't know if it was a challenge or it was near the near side. We chased the ball down or whatever it was, and a massive roar went up. And naturally, I think when you play teams like Man City and it's a big calibre game, naturally, fans are more up for that and stuff like that. But no, they're fantastic. I'm not here to complain about anything. As I said before, they have the right to choose whatever they want to do, and they've been right behind us. And yeah, everyone's been frustrated and disappointed with this period, but I think we're trying to fight as hard as we can to come out of it. We need to take that into these last 10 games and need to prove that, and that's what we'll be determined to do for sure.
How good do you think Dominic Iorfa was tonight?
Fantastic. The key to that is the consistency of that. Again, same with most of the players. They were that was them, very consistent up to Christmas, and much less consistency in this last period, and that's caused us problems, obviously, and harness the results that we've got. If they can get back out and go back to those levels like we saw tonight, and back to that consistency like we had before Christmas, and then we'll win games, and we'll be competitive in games, and we'll be in a position to win games. That's what we were doing before, and if I'm honest, that's what I've done most of my time as manager is make teams competitive, and make us right in games and try and get consistent results, and we did that very well. We've had a bad period. Hopefully we can finish the rest of the season as a good period and get back to that competing side and being right in games, because we know when we do that we have the quality to hurt teams and do very well in games. So that's what we need to get back to.
Pep's just been in and said Bannon's a fantastic player. How worried are you that you might want to take him away from you?
Not very worried at all, if I'm honest with you. If he's got 85 million, yeah, I'll take that.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.
Cheers, Garry.